Hey everybody, popping in for pizza stuffed spaghetti squash. This is a super flexible meal, very seasonal as you know squash becomes super abundant. And a couple options on this, okay? So I pre-roasted the squash. So to do that, cut in half, remove the seeds, and then you're gonna drizzle with olive oil and you're gonna sprinkle your Italian season on there. So then you have a couple options, okay? You can use these as boats, and basically we would prepare the sauce. You'd fill them back up, cover with cheese, and put them back in the oven like this and serve them like this. Your other choice is to put it in a 9x13, and that's what we're gonna do today. But I wanted to at least give you that, especially with the spaghetti squash that are about this size. Those boats are super fun. Love doing them, but these are huge squash. So basically what we're gonna do, this has been roasted, and we're just gonna pull out all of the squash with a fork, super easy, okay? And when I roast these, you'll always want to roast them upside down. And then you'll know that they're done when they're kind of like squishy on the top. You can push them in. Otherwise, they're pretty solid when they're not done. So if you can push your finger in all of them, each of them, you know they're done. Okay, so I'm just dumping these into this 9x13 here. 1 second. Okay, so this one, there's a little bit of prep right ahead of time, but then we're gonna throw this together super fast. Okay, I did let this squash cool a little bit because it gets really hot to handle. So, okay, so here's my 9x13. I'm just gonna use my fork, kind of break it up a little bit, spread it out. It does not need to be like smushed down. It will kind of naturally do that as it cooks. I also kind of like to leave it a little bit airy, if you will. I don't think that's a technical cooking term. Airy, so that the sauce kind of goes all the way to the bottom, okay? All right, so then we're think lasagna, think casserole. Once you kind of have the big chunks kind of broken up, we're gonna go ahead and do our toppings. Okay, our recipe called for Italian sausage and pepperoni, but that is an awesome base menu. Base menu. If you don't care for pepperoni, don't add it. You can also add a lot of veggies, so I'm actually gonna do a little half and half, okay? So I went ahead and ground the sausage, and I just did 2 pounds of it instead of 1, because what I'll do is freeze half of the sausage so that when I make this next time, I don't even have to do that. I've already got it ready in the freezer. Everything else that goes on this is pantry or, fridge items. So I like to double that up to save time next time. Okay. So Italian sausage, check, okay. Looks like that. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. I will freeze the rest. Okay, when I get pepperoni at the store, I buy them at the deli, and so they're in big like sandwich chunks, but I went ahead and cut them up. Any kind of pepperoni will work. I cut them just so this is easier to cut after the fact. Okay, and so you just kind of spread and sprinkle, or if you're using like the prepackaged smaller ones, you can just kind of lay them out as you go. Okay, so we got sausage, we got pepperoni. Then I'm going to add some mushrooms. And I've got my little egg slicer here, right? Ooh, let's try the other way. There we go. Okay, so this will slice this all super nice. I am only adding these on half, and that's an option too. Let me think. Other things I've put on this in the past, onions, peppers, green peppers are really good. If you like black olives, anything you like on pizza. This recipe is very vegetable heavy, but I don't think anyone is overeating vegetables. So whatever you like to eat on pizza, add away, okay? So there we go. I've got mushrooms on one side, okay? So there we go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 cans of pizza sauce, and we're literally just gonna kind of dump. And I'll use my scraper to just spread it out a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then number 2 on the other half. I do really like this recipe, especially as the little trick I shared on the meat. It comes together so quickly, and it usually does feed us a couple nights, which I really like. Okay, diced tomatoes. I did drain these just to keep it, but again, you're just mostly drain them. I'm seeing lots of liquid, just kind of spreading these out. Okay, and then we're gonna do cheese. And so I'm gonna only actually do cheese on half of mine, and I'm gonna do it on the other half of the mushrooms. So also a flexible meal for, right, meeting different meal eating plans, all that kind of good stuff. Let me just grab my cutting board. So you can buy, for the mozzarella, you could have bought a pre-bag. You could do big, you know, real fresh mozzarella that's in slices. I happen to have pearls, and so I am just gonna use those. You also could get a block and grate it. That would be awesome as well. Okay, nice and spread out. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of sprinkle these. Give you guys, move that so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay, so we're just spreading these out. Yummy, yummy. Okay, I'm actually gonna do it on like maybe 60%. That's funny, these look like marshmallows. They're not, okay? And then you add a little Parmesan cheese on the cheese part as well. It's also good to serve with that. And then I'm gonna take the Italian seasoning and I'm gonna add to the top a good amount, just to kind of season this all back up. So reminder, you've got that seasoning in the squash and then you've got it on the top, and that's it. So if you are going to freeze this, make sure you've got a very airtight lid, or if you're doing like a foil pan, I like to usually double foil anything I'm gonna freeze. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put this right in the oven for tonight. So dinner is done, well, almost done. It does not take long to cook. It just basically needs to bubble, cheese needs to brown, 25 to 30 minutes, and you should be good. So hopefully that's a good start to give you guys some options on spaghetti squash and making it fun with pizza and super healthy, right? Okay, thanks everybody.